What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about how to handle um, receiving advice from people. And this kind of came from Naval Ravikant's podcast on how to get rich. Really smart dude. I just thought it was really interesting the way he framed it. And his point is basically you should reject most advice. And he says that, but I think that's a little harsh. It's more so you should be skeptical about the advice you receive, and you'll probably end up, if you're doing it right, if you're critical enough, you'll end up rejecting most advice. And the way he's kind of framed it is that when you're asking someone for advice, or someone's just giving you advice, they'll be giving you information about something that specifically works for them, which may not be applicable. It may be or may not be applicable to you and your unique situation. So he likens it to people just basically reading out their winning lottery ticket, and there's still value in receiving advice from people, but his point is just that you basically should look at information with a critical eye. um you're trying to basically develop your own internal model because you have to make things work within your kind of unique life circumstances. Even something as so simple and basic as you need 8 hours sleep. That's not true. That's more of a general idea. Everyone has different sleep needs, so you should actually kind of find out what your own sleep needs are. Some people need 9 hours sleep, some people only need 7 hours, so eight is actually just the average. Even something as simple as that, you just being just a little bit more critical could make a huge difference for you. Well, you might be someone on that normal distribution bell curve that actually needs 9 to 10 hours, and imagine trying to get 8 hours sleep all the time. You'd actually not be getting enough sleep. And he also talks about how do you like a way of viewing advice, which this is why it gets really interesting. And what kind of he explains is that advice is best viewed as maxims rather than instructions of like what to do. They're basically just ideas that you can refer to when you meet the relevant experience for them. It's not like a map it's not like a map of reality, that you go, this is how you should do things, da, 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 and you follow the steps. They're more like signposts. When you come across relevant experiences, you'll then say, oh, okay, this is what that means in reality. And especially when you're one to kind of give advice, like myself, I post all these videos. The things I say hold me accountable, over time. It's kind of like, when I come across a certain a situation, I'll be like, oh, I was the guy that said you should do XYZ, and I can kind of cross reference my experience. Like, how does this add up to this situation? And over time, you're basically, as you go through life, you're building up a large store of experiences, and those experiences will enrich your maxims, known as advice. And advice is only really worthwhile when you have that relevant experience to support it. So the interesting thing I found about this idea, it's like advice is more about something to look back to and refer to, as opposed to something to look forward to, like a map of, like, just an instruction, which is how people typically view it. So yeah, so even from just the way he describes it, you gotta take advice more as more of a hypothesis that you're willing to test out. And also, you should also be very critical of the advice you receive from other people, even something that seems really obvious. Always try and understand the context around it. Would this work for everyone outside of this person's context, the person that's talking to you? Maybe it would. And secondly, would this work in context of just you? So you have to look around. And yeah, so that's how to kind of handle advice and information that is being provided to you.